Welcome back to Open BXRx. Due to COVID-19, the education system has completely transformed for teachers, parents, and children. There's also another group in between, students with disabilities. We're joined by Alexia Kapetanos, grad student at Touro College studying speech pathology. Alexia balances teaching students with disabilities, her externship, and her own coursework as a grad student, which has proven to be a challenge remotely. Thank you for joining us, Alexia.
Thank you for having me.
Mhm. So first, Alexia, can we talk about your work with students with disabilities and how remote learning and teaching has really changed that work for you?
Yeah, so I'm currently doing my externship at Wheels, which is a school located in Washington Heights, which is where I was born and raised. And I have a caseload of kids that vary from pre-K to seventh grade. So that's about as young as 4 years old to 14 years old. And basically, I give them therapy. I give them language therapy. So it could be helping them express their ideas to others, articulation therapy if you cannot pronounce the sound. Um, and also, I have a lot of students, not a lot of students, but I have some students that have ADHD, dyslexia. So a variety of different disorders and impairments are in my caseload. So I give them therapy, I assess them, and as a result of what's happening with the coronavirus, I had to transition from basically having that in-person interaction with my students. I basically give teletherapy. And what teletherapy is for those who don't know. So you're basically providing services just online through video, basically, and it has
Mhm.
to be HIPAA compliant. So you need to make sure that the privacy of the students, the clients are guaranteed. So instead of waking up and starting my day at 8:15 with my kids, I log on to Google Classroom, go on Google Hangouts like we are right now, and
Mhm.
I provide them therapy with my supervisor. So
And can you tell us about the challenges with that, with going to the teletherapy and doing that remotely? Is that a challenge for, your particular field with speech pathology where it's more like interpersonal, right?
yeah, so teletherapy and telepractice, it's something that's relevantly, it's new in the field that I'm in. A lot of people do it. It's something that's very popular. And it, of course, like everything else in life, it has its pros and its cons. So to start off with the cons, honestly, one thing that really was difficult is scheduling therapy sessions. So I am very fortunate that I am under the supervision of a certified speech language pathologist at this school. So I really do a lot of the assisting work for her. She mainly does everything. But basically, scheduling therapy sessions is really difficult because students now are, they're doing remote learning with their teachers and with their classes. So you need to find your way when it comes to making it like work for them. Okay, like is this time going to work for them? Is it going to work for me? Also, you need to schedule your time around their caregivers.
Right.
And a lot of the caregivers are essential workers. A lot of them still need to go to work. And it's something that we have to take into consideration when scheduling. And overall, life continues. People are busy. It's an emotional time for everyone. People still continue to live life as they normally can. So you need to schedule around that. So scheduling was definitely difficult. Another thing I would say, as someone who is studying to become a speech language pathologist, it's a field where it's very interactive, especially when you're dealing with younger kids. So finding interactive materials to do with kids online was one of the most hardest things, personally for me, because it's different when you're in a group session with three kids and you could play tic-tac-toe or connect four, and you're going over a worksheet that they don't want to do because for kids it's schoolwork for them.
Right.
You need to find, it's very hard finding like a balance with materials that are interactive and materials that are just, okay, I'm signing on to my classroom remotely. Now I need to go to speech therapy, and they're just looking at a worksheet. I am very fortunate to be in a school where the principal's really great. My supervisors are very great. They go out of their way to give kids like the resources they need in order for them to succeed during this difficult time. But the reality of it is not a lot of schools have, a lot of like resources.
Right.
For instance, some kids don't have computers or tablets at home or even Wi-Fi. So how are you supposed to, sign up on Google Classroom if you don't have a tablet or you don't have Wi-Fi? I will say the DOE is doing a really good job trying to provide kids with like tablets and computers in order for them to do the remote learning. But then again, we're talking about thousands of New York City kids.
Alexia, are there any pros towards remote learning and teaching?
Yeah, there are pros to remote learning and teaching. I would say the number one thing, honestly, is whether you're a teacher, an educator, student, I feel like we're very fortunate to even be given the option to have remote learning and to be able to teach online. Because if that wasn't the case, then, there would be a lot of regression, I think, in my point of view. So very fortunate for the teletherapy, for the online learning. And also, I've been noticing that caregivers are really getting involved now because they want to know, how can my child not be left behind or fall behind on their schoolwork or in their therapy goals. That's another thing. And overall, it's in the comfort of your own home. So there's pros and cons.
You kind of fit like all three angles, which is interesting, of like how difficult it is to remote learn and remote teach. So like you're also doing an externship, you're a student at Toru College, and you are teaching kids and you're learning all at the same time. So as a student, how has your university been supporting you and other students through these changes?
Yeah. So at Toru College, so I'm in my last year of my master's. I could definitely say it hit them the same way it hit me as a student. But I would say overall, I am given the resources that I do need to succeed as a student. It's just being a student, especially in a master's program, it's just very hard, just like the online Zoom and the online taking midterms.
Right.
It's just, especially when you're a hands-on learner like I am, it's very difficult to just take it all in. And I think that schools are overwhelmed, like colleges are overwhelmed. My school did very good at continuing classes for us. There are some universities that have canceled classes for students because of everything that's happening. They've been really good with that. They've been really good at basically hosting weekly meetings and providing us with Google Docs to basically voice our concerns so that we could get accommodations. So I definitely think that I have it good as a master's student in the program that I'm in right now, because again, I'm provided with the resources and I'm provided with, a support system, a very positive support system. But there are universities out there and there are other students that, unfortunately, they don't have the same resources
Right.
that I do. But accommodations are being made 100%. And there's just nothing like in-class learning for me as a student or someone that's teaching kids. There's just nothing like that interpersonal live, interaction. There's nothing like it.
And do you fear, like many other university students, grad or undergrad, that this is going to affect your graduation later on?
Yeah, so I'm at my externship at the school right now. In order for me to get certified to practice, I need to have a certain amount of therapy hours that I give to kids, and I need to have just a certain amount of hours for me to graduate in general. And I have certification exams that I have to take, and those are being canceled or postponed, which is very frightening and it's very nerve-wracking personally as a student. But yeah, I've definitely, like, I've been affected with that. I've been affected with, I don't know if I'm going to obtain the certain amount of hours I need to be a certified speech pathologist, like in the timely manner that I expected. And, the city's postponing tests, like the SATs and stuff, was canceled. The praxis, which is the test I have to take, was canceled and has to be rescheduled. So 100%. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be graduating on time, but again, my school's really trying to not postpone like my graduation.
Wow. Alexia, thank you for sharing and thank you for joining us today. And best of luck to you, all teachers and students through all of this. And, good luck with everything.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Stay tuned. Open BXRx will be right back.